everyone, this is Deb. This is card number 4 that we are doing in this series where we're using a single panel card base. So this is a fun card. I saw this one by Karen Titus. So if you're looking for some other examples, she had some beautiful ones. And I just thought it was a really neat card. And so we kind of are adding that to our collection here. So this is what we need. We're going to use a card base, of course, our 5.5 by 4.25. We have a DSP layer that we're using, 5.25 by 4. Then for this one, we're also going to use another layer of cardstock. This one is optional. You don't need it. You don't have to have it, but we're going to put it in there just for some extra color. Then you're going to need a piece that's 6.5 by 4.25, and it is scored at 3.25. So this is actually going to fold up like a card. So this is going to be on top of our card base. Then we need a piece that is 5 by 5, and in case you don't know, we're making a bookmark card. So that's what this is for. We're also going to use some embellishments. We're going to need just a very small piece of ribbon. This is where if you have those little fragments, this would be the place to use it, right? And then these are some scraps because we are going to do a little bit of punching, and I think we're going to use this to decorate. So again, these are just scraps, so they don't need to be this big. So we're just going to set those off to the side. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and adhere. And this is some of the farm paper. One of the things we're trying to do in this series is use up some of our free paper that we got from Sale-A-Bration, right? So this is the farm paper, which I absolutely love. So I hate to cover up the little chickens, but we're going to, because we're going to use this. If you can see, it looks like a wire. Looks kind of like chicken wire. So we're going to have that one be our focal point here. All right. So now we're just going to adhere this onto our card base. And this is Cherry Cobbler. If kind of want to know the colors that we're using. All right. And if you guys, I'm sure most of you know this, right? The colors that coordinate, that are in the paper, are all listed on each pack of designer paper. So you can always find them there. Okay, now here's our card base. Now again, as I have said, if you want to stamp anything on the inside or outside, make sure you do that first. So we actually are going to do a little stamping on the outside. So we're going to bring in, set that off to the side. We're going to bring in our mat here. And again, for those of you who may not have been around, this is the mat that comes with your Stamparatus. It's pretty thin and I love it. It's perfect when you're using photopolymer stamps. So that's the one that I use. We're going to pull a greeting out of here that says love you. And that's the one we're going to use for this particular card. And this again was a Sale-A-Bration item. And I don't know how many of you got it. I would love to know in the comments. It was one of my favorites. All right, so we're gonna put our greeting here. Actually, let me do it this way. So, a great way to do this is actually lay it down, and then pick it up. And that way you can get it a little more straight how you want it. Now, one of those scrap pieces that we had, I'm actually going to put that in here, and I'm going to layer it right here at the bottom, okay? So I actually want to use this little scrap just to kind of fill in some of this white space that's going to be there, and I'm actually going to show the chicks this time. So here we go. And this is let's see. Yeah, 1.25 by 3 1/8, okay? Because this right here is 3 1/4, and I wanted just a little bit of the border to show. Okay, so there we go. All right, this looks lined up. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stamp love you right here. You could stamp it anywhere, except right up in this corner, because we're going to be covering that area. So you'll see here in a moment All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tap in that ink, and then I am going to just line this up and put it right here. Now this paper, as many of you know, it does have a coordinating bundle, so stamp set and dies that go right along with it. And that would be beautiful if you had some of the dies. You could put the animals down here. You could also use some of those farm-like sentiments as well. So I don't have those, so we're just going to stick with what we got. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and just burnish this a little bit on the ends. And now we're going to take our piece of cherry cobbler, excuse me, and we're just going to layer that right on top of this one here. Okay. So this really is, I love it because it does use up some of that designer paper, and it doesn't require necessarily too much cardstock. I don't want to say you don't need, you know, a full half sheet of cardstock, because in this case, right, you need a quarter of it for the base, but then you're also going to be cutting out some other areas, and then we're of course going to be punching something. So, all right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to layer this right on top. But what you're going to see now is this opens up right here. So that's kind of the fun part there. All right, so let's go ahead and take this. Now, if you wanted this layer too, you could also put this up on dimensionals, and that would be, I think, very nice as well, as we have talked about on some of the other videos, popping things up on dimensionals where you think you would like to. All right, and the nice thing about this paper is we can kind of line it up with our edges here. Okay. Now we're going to take the 5x5 piece and we are going to basically crease it. We're going to fold it in half, crease it, and then we're going to fold it again this way, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to line up the points. I feel like I'm making one of those little fortune movers that your kids used to make, right? That we all made, I should say. All right, now we have this. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut out a corner piece. So we're just going to take our scissors and we're going to cut one of the squares out, and we're going to cut this square out here. So we're just going to go along that that crease line, put our blade right on it, and just cut it. Now you could use a paper trimmer too if you would like, if you would prefer. I think it's pretty easy to get a straight line here. Okay, this is going to be our bookmark. So what you're going to do is you're going to need to fold it in. All right, now I can look here and see that if I do it, I'm going to just make sure I get this exactly how you need it, because I think if I turn it this way, see, everything is kind of upside down. So that is not turned upside down. So this is here. We're going to fold this down and this down. Okay. And there we go. Like this. Okay. And that's going to give us that area here that we need to put for our card. All right, so let me move this over just a little bit more here and get a little bit more of a firmer crease so it lines up. There we go. All right, now before I glue this down, I want to put a little piece of ribbon in here for a loop. Okay, and we're going to glue, adhere our ribbon right here. Okay, so we're just going to add our ribbon right there. And then we're going to go ahead and close this up. So we're going to go ahead and take this and we are going to, oops, put that down, and then we're going to fold this over like that. Right. And then now what we're going to do is we're actually going to fold these two ends up. Now, you can fold one layer up if you would like as well. Totally up to you. So you can leave two on the bottom and just one on top, or in this case, I'm going to have two up here and just leave one on the bottom. So it's totally up to you as far as how you want to get that end. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think in Karen's video, she just has one. All right, so there we go. So now I want to show you what we have. So we're going to bring our card back in. We'll move this out of the way. So now we have is this nice little bookmark, and we can actually put it right here at the end of our card. Isn't that adorable? But now we're going to go ahead and punch a couple circles. Now you could just leave it just like that, and then the person you're giving it to can take this off. They can pull in their book and just, Old Nancy Drew book. And there, look at that. They can just attach it to a page. But isn't that absolutely cool? That is so cool. You could make these for kids. You could make them for a teacher that you might know, or if you're a teacher, for your kids, you could take them in and give them out with an Easter basket. I think it is just adorable. I really do. I absolutely love it. Okay, so what we're going to do with this is now we're going to take and we're going to punch out one of these little chickens, and we're going to put them right here. So I am using the 2-inch punch. Now, if you guys remember, these are on the all-exclusive products that just went unavailable, but they are coming back. So anytime you see a product that's anywhere on the site, if it's still there and it just says currently unavailable, that means another shipment's going to come in. If you saw it in the catalog and now it's gone, that means it is not coming back. All right, so here we go. So we're going to take this little chicken and we're going to punch him out with 2 inches. And then I actually have another punch here that is 2 1/4 inch, and we're going to cut out a cherry cobbler circle. All right, so we're done with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our card here, and this is how it's going to work. So I'm not going to glue this down yet, but I'm going to take our little chicken and I'm going to glue him down, okay? And I think what I'm actually going to do is put another circle behind him as well, just right up there, even though we don't probably need it. I think it might look a little better. So we're going to do this, and we'll just... Now here, I probably would not be putting anything up on dimensionals because you don't want that really thick layer there. Now, this is where we have to make sure that when we put this on here, we only want to get this top part here. All right, and so I'm just going to put a little adhesive right there. And then I'm going to pop it right here so our chicken is facing the right direction. And I'm going to just line it up so it's on these two sides. And again, I want to make sure that none of that glue is getting below this circle in here. Now, then what we're going to do is we're going to put this circle here as well, or I think we are. We might leave it as just this one since we made it on the card itself. I think I like that better. I think we're just going to leave it like that. There we go. I don't even need to do the other one. So you'll see on Karen's video, she actually had the red circle right up here so that the little bookmark, when you took it away, there was this red circle there. But I think putting it on here actually kind of just took care of it. So there you have it, guys. You've got this nice card that opens up. You can add additional writings there. And then someone can take this bookmark right off and use that as a corner for a book. It's great for a student or anything. So there you have it. I hope you guys like this card. Let me move out some of our items here. And we'll bring in I want to bring in the directions again in case you want to take a side-by-side image of the directions and the card itself. And this was card number 4. So one of my favorites. I think I like this one. This is I like 3 too, but this one's good. All right. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will look forward to seeing you again tomorrow with card number 5. Bye.